X. 3v5 for Fury, but we've seen them do it before. It was just last round they managed a 3-on-5. Now it's a 3v4, but there's only 20 seconds left to get it done. Lycolis does have the angle, but he doesn't have the aim. Nate bests him and is looking for another. BG Man and Dark, they are called upon. They must step up, but it's Nate once again. He's looking to take us to break point, and he does it. A huge round from the TYDE. We are a 5-5 on the scoreline, man. You just cannot separate these teams.
Wow, I'm so impressed by that from TYDE. Time and time again, we have seen this team throughout the stage do so well in the early round, incredibly well in the early round, better than literally any other team in this region, and then get to the mid round and capitulate because they get overexcited and they get overzealous and they keep peeking things. But watching them just then through that mid round come back, rotate their utility, reinforce off walls that could be a potential hole in that defense was exactly what TYDE needed to do to close out that round. As soon as they did that, and as soon as that ground floor fight was lost, I knew that TYDE had won that round just off that macro decision that they made through the mid round. That was perfect from them.
TYDE are adapting. Isn't it beautiful? We're seeing it before our very eyes. We've been watching them all stage long, and TYDE are really learning from their mistakes and applying it when it matters most for Fury, not for them. Remember, TYDE, they can't make the major. The impact of this game for them is negligible. Doesn't affect their SI implications, doesn't affect the major. For Fury, this is huge. This means making it into top 2, making that major, or sitting out and letting Gladiators go, where Fury has been looking to go for such a long time and always seen their brothers and sisters in Elevate and GG and Direwolves get the opportunities that they believe they deserve. Now they've taken their tactical timeout, Fury, and we're back into the game. What do they need to say? What do they need to have said in those moments to make sure that they are ready here to push it to match point?
I wonder how Fury are going to change their philosophy against TYDE. This is a really tough team to read, right? The micro game that TYDE has got, unmatched. They've proven that to us all stage long. The macro game is something that I thought the micro game that TYDE has got, but after watching that last round and seeing how TYDE have sort of the macro game is something that I thought the micro game that TYDE has got, after watching that last round and seeing how TYDE have sort of the macro game is something that I thought the micro game that TYDE has got, after watching that last round and seeing how TYDE have sort of to face the roam clear, delaying that western side take from the map, reinforcements dedicated to it as well. Feels like TYDE playing their classic early game. Fury, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to hit the site straight away, try and avoid this early game, or are they going to contest it and try and be smarter about it?
The advantage for Fury here is that they know this setup. They know most of it. They know this deal with the mirrors. They know about this unreinforced wall. It's what TYDE did last time, and so Fury might feel a little bit better prepared to counter it. But kind of like you said, they do seem to be putting a lot of pressure on this roam clear, which feels like it's playing into TYDE's hands.
Yeah, not only that, but look at what TYDE have just done to adapt the roam clear as well. We've got 2 players already that were positioned on this side, but we've got 2 or 3 other TYDE players that have just rotated over as well. We've got aggressive lines of sight that go into drum. That's to contest the double window hop in. We've got another player contesting the cutoff from that shrine balcony as well. It just feels like TYDE have got a really great read on the push that Fury are going for, and Fury have to be very careful in this early round.
Oh, but here it comes. First kill could be for Tex as he rounds that corner, sprays through, can't land the shots he's needed against Dark. Both players low on ammo, but Dark blocks it in. Is Mentalist able to trade? He goes back to that same position, but he gets caught out! Dark has stepped up, and he's taken advantage of TYDE's aggression once again. It's a 5v3 now, and Fury are another step closer to match point.
What are you going to do now, TYDE? You've got to keep getting aggressive. Look for that hero play, and it seems like that's what they're going to do. Hysterics, they haven't cleared their shield on the top of Shrine. He's able to use that and find a pick back onto Fury. Fury, what's the plan? Are you going to start rotating that hard reach over opening up the site, or will they make use of this western side of the map that they've now just cleared out?
A lot of questions for Fury. They must come up with the answers. As TYDE try to make a play, you can see Nate on the site feeling that pressure, getting aggressive on this open wall, and he's going to swing this as well. He wants to find this kill as the Hibana's try to counter that mirror, but Dark has now found another one. He's seemingly unstoppable, and he's got this long line of sight as well. TYDE feeling this pressure, but finally, a moment of reprieve as they take down Dark.
TYDE rounding the corner of this exhibition window, looking for the player outside of that single housing window. Oh, is he going to round the corner and kill him? Doesn't seem like it. TYDE still undetected, but look at what the push is coming from window. Oh, he's going to round the corner and kill him? Side of the map. Doesn't have to make like TYDE still
oh, it's an awkward push for Fury, but it's just Nate now.
Oh, he's going to round the corner and kill him? Side of the map.
Vesta in hand in the 1v push for Fury, but it's just Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. In hand push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad. One round away push down. Fury, but it's Nate now. Who's on no C? He wants it so bad.
The walls on that side of the map, and that's exactly what Fury were able to take advantage of. The macro game has improved tremendously on this team.
What's happening for Fury? I can't believe after such a turbulent year, stage 1, not getting a single point. And the win condition for them going to a major in stage 3 is making sure that TYDE finish without getting a single point. What a circular world we live in. It was once upon a time that these TYDE players were on the verge of making their own major as Invictus, where they were one of the promised teams, the super teams of APAC South. And oh, how times have changed. Fury are now gunning for a major spot and could potentially secure it in just under 3 minutes' time.
Well, Fury, they are going for that major spot, but TYDE are trying real hard to gate-crash the party. I'll tell you that. Once again, looking for an extended roam. This repeat of the bomb site, they've changed the philosophy. TYDE, they've completely closed off the wall, and they've chosen to bring the Cade instead to try and keep that one closed. They've realized that by dedicating all of their utility just inside this office room, that's putting all their eggs in one basket, and that's not what you want when Fury are starting to get on the ball with this macro game.
Drone work now for I9. Starts to scout out, loses it, but he gets some good info, knows that position. The TYDE, knows that there is a TYDE. Now Fury have to get to work on removing that electrical so they can get a breach on the wall.
Oh no, I've just realized that Dark has actually not brought the baby EMPs on the Dokkaebi. He's got flashbangs instead, and so clearing these TYDE charges, if they're in a very pesky spot, I've got absolutely no idea where they are. They could be in a very tricky spot to clear. Oh, it's actually just in the middle of the top wall there, so they could get it through vertical nade, perhaps, but it will be quite challenging to get this wall open.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Seems like a slow start to this round, and we're halfway through, and it's just the util game back and forth. TYDE are dialing back this aggression. This is uncharacteristic of them. Is this the moment to do it, though?
Oh, there we go. I9 is able to take down that electric claw from below. It wasn't in a pesky position as Nate might have been able to hide it. And now that Selma can go on the wall, can start to deny this breach. A C4 prep to go straight through. It doesn't connect. May have taken down a Selma though. Oh, no, it doesn't. That wall still gets opened. Fury suddenly, they have that in onto the bomb site now. Oh, an early entry as well from BG, man. Bit aggressive. In fact, text to double down.
This is so grim now for Fury. They have won a 3v5 before on this site. But Hajime needs to land this shot. He does take down Tex. That's a big one. And this unreinforced wall is potentially mincemeat for Hajime as well on the Ash. Bit of a flank now from Mentalist, but he is spotted out, and I9's found his own. This is getting eerily close now as Mentalist manages to trade back that position. I9 in the 1v2, but we know he is capable. We know he's done it before. G36 in hand. No nades to speak of, but he does have that diffuser as the Vultures start to swarm. As the defenders start to triangulate his position, he can play around this. 13 seconds, fakes out the diffuser, baiting out the push. Surely he can't find Mentalist here, surely not. He spots out the player, pistol down, but the trade is there. TYDE are not done yet. And for the first time in Stage 3, they will find a point on the standings as we head into overtime.
If there is any time to come into stage 3 with a point on the standings, it is now for TYDE. They are playing spoils to the story of Fury, to their dream of making it to the major. I just cannot believe the kind of siege that we are seeing, Dev. Skyscraper of any map that you could take a TYDE defense to. Fury, what a gamble it was to go to this map. The way that TYDE are playing this defense is just so much more masterful than what Fury are able to do on their half.
And you know what, Mandy? We're going to continue as well. It's Fury still attacking, TYDE back on that defense where they have been so much more comfortable, as you very much predicted. By all rights, this should be a TYDE game from here on out. They have the advantage. They have the defense in overtime. And in the next 2 or 3 rounds, we're going to find out where the Fury's fate is sealed by this newly reprised Rising TYDE that has finally found their form.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what is happening in this area at the moment. TYDE looking for, once again, an extended roam onto the other side. They've dedicated some barbed wire, the utility, even an ADS to the other side of the map, completely on the other side of the map. Anticipating that Fury are looking for that roam clear. Now, last time we saw Fury, they went straight to hit the bomb site. They've brought on the Monty, they've brought on the Glaz, and they've got the hard breach they need if they want to go for a direct take, and it seems like that's what Fury are going to do. They don't want to contest this roam clear early because it is so scary to play against TYDE.
And the Monty's come back out for I9. The top fragger is now on Monty. Lycolis on the Glaz. Shibe once again aggressive. TYDE have got this confidence back that they lacked in the last round. What are Fury going to be able to do? Overtime has been pushed. There's no second chances here.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that means putting your top fragger on Monty with not a proper gun. We've got an entry coming through, though, in this ground floor that's dark. He's going to be able to pinch out the player on these back stairs. Just rounding the corner now. Pings do go out. He knows that he's there, but Tex, he can round the corner. It does a little bit of damage, but is not able to take him down. And Fury, now they've got control of this top floor, of this part of this entry. It's just about converting it into the site.
And Lycolis has doubled down as well, Manny. Is this really happening?
It's happening.
It's on the attack, but Fury are relentless and they aren't stopping anytime soon. Hard breach as well. Lycolis has found another one. This Glaz, it's exactly what they needed. Hysterics and Nate now. Both have had a fantastic game, and it's just Nate left. 2 players down, or on the ground at least. But I9's forcing that diffuser down, and a nigh impossible post plant now with a minute to spare. It's a grim moment now for Nate, as Fury are likely to find match point.
That was a really bright idea from Fury to go for such a minimal mistake and not contest that roam of a TYDE. Nate's out on a little bit of a tussle with this Monty. He's probably thinking, who on earth is that on the Monty? And you would never guess that it was I9. And he's starting to contest the window as well. But this post plan is just absolutely impossible to win out. How frustrating is this?
Doesn't matter at this point. Surely not. When the player on the window could make this a bit scary. Oh no, he's fully out of ammo with both guns, the poor guy. 4 bullets. There you go. He does lock in that kill, but at this point it doesn't matter. Fury have done the damage that are needed. And there you go, a consolation prize for Nate, who just couldn't get it done in the clutch. And Fury, once again, have a major point within their grasp.
Really like the way that Fury approached that. That was such a great read into the way that TYDE are playing their defense. They knew that TYDE early games very hard to contest. They knew that the micro game is something that they're lacking in. And by bringing along that Monty, by bringing along that Glaz, just simply cutting off the site, making sure that the anchors weren't feeling very comfortable, that's a big hole in the TYDE defense because they spread their utility so thin, right? And because Fury were able to make that entry, they were all on the same page, they did it together, they played the trades, they were able to get onto the bomb site, and this macro game that we've seen them improve in throughout the year, not just in this map, but throughout the year, Dev, it really feels like Fury have become a team that they know what they're doing, that they have a really great read of the game now, and that's just something that we haven't seen from them up until this point.
Oh, I got jitters, Mandy. I got jitters. I'm starting to feel it. But also, I can't count it out yet because whatever the result of this game, it's just purely, utterly absurd, isn't it? To think that TYDE could go all of stage 3 with no points, and finally take down Fury when it mattered most of Fury in the final Playday. That's absurd. To think that Fury, from last place and completely pointless in stage 1, to... I mean, it was almost like it was kind of just a fun fact. Fury might make it to the major this time. Ha ha ha. No. It could well happen. It probably is going to happen. It's happening right now.
I9 once again trying to place spoils into the entry of TYDE, already starting out on this western side of the map. Drones to go out. They are anticipating that well. I9, he's done some sneaky business and he's probably going to try it again as TYDE look for this roam clear.
I've been a lot of sneaky business this map. I noticed a lot of suppressors from both teams. They absolutely love it. And on cue, I9 with it once again. Droned out, but he manages to rotate back. No one to cut him off as of yet. A little bit late for the ace player there of Nate. And it's been a little bit slow for TYDE, hasn't it?
Good restraint, though, on the side of Fury. Yes, it is a bit slow from the side of TYDE, but if I9 had stayed behind and tried to play his life there, that could have been a done deal. That cutoff might have come through, and so excellent timing, in my opinion, on the side of Fury. Now all they need to do is hold on to these power positions here inside of that shrine room and inside of the terrace room. Once again, TYDE, they have brought the hard breach on the side of Nate, but there is a Cade Claw they have to deal with, and it's going to be quite challenging with the time dwindling away in the round.
TYDE is just on lurk duty downstairs. A little bit of vertical game. Surely doesn't catch someone off from this. Nobody would expect a player looking up through this vertical game, but TYDE has got the patience of a saint. He might not be given an opportunity. The Goyo walks eerily past. Doesn't expose.
Oh no, BG Man is just taking down Hysterics. Where has that happened? I've got absolutely no idea what that's happened, but oh no.
Hysterics actually made a play. He even went into VIP. Look at that.
Wow.
He died inside the doorway.
That is not so good for TYDE. Now, I've just had a Selma charge go down. I'm not sure where that one's gotten down just yet. Okay, they're opening up this west side of the map, so not going to get the main breach open, but they're going to convene their plays onto the west side and try and go for a flood. Now, TYDE's just been able to even out that main count, perhaps through the vertical. It's about how they play these trades through this western side of the map. They've got 3 possible entry points, and they just need to make it work with their gunplay.
Well, I mean, this could come down to timing for TYDE. It's what it's got to be. Tex on this entry is going to walk straight into this crossfire. Surely not. He needs to time this, but he finds the first pick. This is big now for TYDE to send it to round 15 to keep them alive. And they're doing it. Surely not. 4v2 now. I9 to stand up. It's him and Lycolis left, but both are feeling this pressure. I9's got to make a play, but it's not happening. TYDE say we are not done yet. We will need all 15 rounds to settle it.
You're kidding me. We're going to round 15? Of 3rd place versus 7th place in APAC South. TYDE, who have never gotten a point on the board, now could close it out. They could stop Fury from going to the major. Once again, not a bad read from TYDE going into that attack. Even though they couldn't get the main breach open, by playing that numbers advantage, by I suppose consolidating all their plays into the west side, they actually had hard breach that time to open up one of those walls, create another point of entry, and like you said, it's all about that timing, and that's something that TYDE are so good at. Being able to lean into that, make that work in their attacks, that's exactly what you need to do against Fury.
Wow, alright. I mean, what have TYDE got to be thinking right now? They've got to be just absolutely losing their rocks. They've got to be having the biggest giggle at this game. Fury, there's no other way to put it. This is pressure. This is the pressure getting to them. This is them never having to deal with this big stakes for a game. And it makes me wonder, Mandy, was the Elevate curse actually a Thailand curse? And it's now been passed on to a new successor.
I don't know if it's a curse, but I think a mental game's a big part of it, right? So Fury, they've never been in this situation before. When you load into this lobby and you go, okay, this is the game, that gets you in the feels. That makes you play different. That makes you comm different. Everything about that. And with how young this roster is and just starting to get into the form, that's definitely something that they're vulnerable to. On the side of TYDE, they're just there. They're having a laugh. They're having a yarn. And they're winning this game somehow.
Well, one last round, one final hurrah for these teams. And it's Fury on the attack. The ones with the pressure are also the ones who've got to make their move.
But what move are they going to make? Are they going to go for this roam clear? Once again, 3 or 4 players, in fact, off the roam. Only 1 on the site as of now, and that's Nate. Once again, they're leaning into this mirror hold inside of Office, but there we go. Early entry inside of Karaoke. I wonder who that is. Is that Dark or I9? Oh, that must be Dark. There you go, on the sledge.
Looks like Dark. It's right around the corner from Tex. I feel like I've seen this play out before, haven't I, Mandy? But who's going to find the pick? Who's going to reveal his position first? Tex has died here before. Surely not again. He falls back. He doesn't want to overextend.
Look at that.
As all of those gases, well, one of those gases has been used by Hysterics to try and hold off this push. But eventually it subsides in Fury. Look at how quickly I9 is in this one. He finds the opener. Tex goes down.
Look, I9 might have been able to get in the building and it's just taken down a player, but look at that restraint from TYDE. They're able to pick up that shield that was inside of Shrine, and now they've placed it inside of Office, which is now facing the entry position that I9 is going to try and face next, right? That's the next step that they're now putting their utility and their resources into. This choke point has now become this drum part in this terrace part here. It's up to a TYDE to hold on to these crossfires, maybe play these mirrors backwards, because that western side onslaught of Fury could come through any second.
Oh no.
Oh no.
4v3, Shibase, be careful, mate. Feeling that pressure, dancing around. He doesn't have a lot of leg room here on this dance floor. Oh, he goes for the cross and he survives, but he's a dead man surely now. 1 HP and taken down. Fury! They're doing it! And it turns out Thailand may well have somebody to cheer for in Sweden. It's all up to Nate, but he gets that diffuser down on the ground. 1v3. To make this dream a reality for TYDE, to crush Fury's hopes. And how did Fury play this? No diffuser, but indeed they go for it from rags to riches. For the first time, we will feel their fury on the global stage at the Yonchaping Major.
And what a way to close out that series as well. That came way too close for comfort, but they look absolutely ecstatic to finally be looking in that position for the major. Heartbreak for the Gaming Gladiators, watching this in the background, cheering on TYDE, but Fury able to lock in their own glory.
Gutting game for Gladiators fans, but just look at the faces of those Fury guys. What a marathon they had to run. To go up against TYDE on the final Playday when TYDE simply had nothing to lose. They got their first point, and Fury felt a pressure unlike anything they would have felt before. I9's victory moment there is, I'm going to remember that for a while. I cannot believe it, Mandy. I cannot believe from last place and winless, pointless in stage 1, Fury are actually going to a major here in stage 3. It is unthinkable what a comeback these guys have had over the course of just 9 months.
A massive glow up, right? Like that. They went from being that team that looked really lost in the server. It just felt like they didn't have a direction in the game. It felt like they didn't have great leadership or really any strengths that set them apart from other teams. But as they went through the stage, they voted real hard. They must have had hours worth of dry runs, because now it feels like they have a great read and approach of so many different maps. Their map pool is very vast now. It's excellent to see them get to this maturity, and I can't wait to see them at the major.
And you know what? After however many years, they finally put the global into Fury Global.
Hey.
Let's go back to the desk, and I'll try and digest what was that ridiculous game.
Well, it was Fury Globi, but apparently Global is now well and truly cemented. What an unbelievable performance from Fury there. TYDE, my God, talk about making you... talk about busting your balls. Fury... that is absolutely mental. Xenox. I mean, the gut-wrenching moments in this game were so close together it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's APAC South though, right to the end for qualifying for the major from this position, and yeah, it had to go down to the 15th round, didn't it? You know, credit to TYDE in some ways coming into this game. Many would have probably forgiven them for just honestly coming in and falling over, and you know, who cares? It didn't mean much for them, but you know, clearly they set out with an agenda of ending the season on a somewhat successful note, and you know, they'll take a point away. And even though it's great news for Fury in the sense that they're going to the major, they do still hold the record this year for having the worst stage. So one of the best stages, but also the worst stage. But you know, for Fury as well, you got to obviously commend them for the fact that, you know, TYDE were pushing them all the way, obviously to overtime, and they were quite resilient and deserved the win and deserved to go to the major.
They certainly did. I mean, how poetic it almost was. God, the reactions just out of this world. It's quite poetic, guys, the fact that they were the only team that didn't pick up a point in stage 1, and they almost lost to the team to go to the major that didn't pick up a single win. But honestly, full props to this Fury roster.
100%. They are the feels-good story, or the feel-good story for the region this year. To go from nothing to a major is absolutely insane, considering, again, that of all the teams globally, they play the least amount of games. So it's such a short turnaround, although it is over several months, and the fact that they've been able to commit to the plan and it's paid off is a true credit to them. And I think one of the other great signs of that in this game was I9, right? One of the new additions absolutely popped off and really gave them a lot of hope in this match, did a great job, and yeah, really keen to see them overseas. I guess much like other teams from APAC South, it could be a rough introduction to the international stage, but they have nothing to lose, so they may as well give it their best shot.
I'm sure they're just thinking about the opportunity that is that major. We're going to go to an interview with Lycolis for the final time for 2022 in APAC South. Mate, hands up, full in the air. I genuinely cannot believe this has happened. Just how are you feeling? Like, this has got to be unbelievable.
Just feel unbelievable, like amazing, and I cannot like stop smiling at all.
Don't stop smiling.
Yeah, no, I cannot stop smiling. It was I think one of the happiest moments once in your life, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, this has got to be a peak from where you were to where you've come from now. This has been such a long journey, you know, a full season. It's taken you 3 stages to get to this point. I want to ask you, you know, where do you put the credit? Who do you give the credit to for this? Is there an individual? Is there a philosophy that you've followed this entire time?
I think it's just overall everyone. There's like except for like I think I9 playing pretty well today as well, and some rounds we make blunder, but the other round we can like retake it like dark, or the like I think one was round that like the one round that we lost Ash and dark, okay, and like we didn't like have a way to go out, but on the next round we keep like getting step by step and pushing forward together. And
what was it? Oh, sorry.
It's good. And the OT win on the first attack was like a guy from our coach that suggests that we should like just go straight to the side if they're playing the T side. Yeah, that's all I think.
Very interesting. So what was the discussion like coming into this week? Obviously, you know, you knew that this was an opportunity. You knew that GG had to lose their game, and obviously check 1, they lose, and then check 2 is your game. What is the discussion coming into this week? You know, we spoke to you last week about how elated you were at the fact that you were so close. Did anything change throughout this week, or is it just solely been on this game and this game alone?
It's just solely been on this game. After that, we just talked that we hope Elevate have to win, or if they win on OT, we just have to like win without the overtime. But if go also all the way, Elevate just come back and win without the overtime. So we have like a second chance after match point. So yeah, after we hit match point, we at least like feel much better that we have like one more round to play. If we win, we go. But if we lose, yeah, next 3 rounds, we just have to win 2, something like that. And for the player for TYDE, we know that they have a bad stage on this season, but every player on their team was a well known that everyone knows. So we are not like underestimate them at all.
That's smart. That's smart, my friend. Look, there's so much to digest, and I'm sure I don't want to keep you too long from celebrations with your team, but we always like to do it. Do you have any final words before we let you go?
See you in Sweden. I think that was the word I want to say the most in like every season. I mean, like which the major attain to. Yeah, see you guys. I hope we perform well. Let's hope so.
Lycolis, my friend, from zero to hero, you've done it all, mate, and you've put in the hard work. So I want to say a big congratulations and best of luck when you head to Sweden for that major. Please, for everyone at home, make sure you give them the plaudits they deserve. They have put in the work. But it is time for us to turn our attention to the final game of the night, the final game of this stage, the final game of this year. It's the Knights, and they take on the Direwolves.
There's no way out. But if I get burned, your time's up. A lot of tick-tock, tick-tock. A lot of tick-tock, your time's up. A lot of tick-tock, tick-tock. Your time's up. Time's up.
Yeah, I want to be wild and free so much. 'Cause lately I've been feeling kinda cooped up. Yeah, on the count of three. I'm ready.
It's the last time that we are coming back from a break for 2022 for the APAC South League. And of course, the final game of the night is sure to deliver. This matchup is one that we are always looking forward to every stage that we do roll through. It is the Knights, and they are taking on the very, very hungry Wolves, who, to my knowledge, are still undefeated. I just want to make sure I say that with a little bit of an upward inclination. Dev, you're agreeing with me there, so I think that is correct.
They are indeed.
There we go.
In fact, to save you, I will add a fun fact. Direwolves are undefeated 18 maps in a, or 19 maps in a row.
Wow. Not
Since
August? Is that right?
Since July 31st.
Oh
they won a
my
map. The last,
God.
July 31st is the last day that they lost a map.
That's disgusting. Well, Mandy, I don't think we have to look too far back to see the last time the Knights lost, and I think that's a little bit of a dog comment, but
That's
it is
very dog, man.
it is what it is. You know, I'm out here. I'll put myself on the line. Knights were in line to come into this stage and really blow us away. You know, that pickup that they ended up getting Speakeasy was one that was really, I think, probably the most commented on coming into Stage 3, and it just hasn't eventuated. But this team is still just as good as they have ever been. It feels like they're so close, but yet so far away.
Yeah, definitely Speakeasy was a big hype pickup that we said for the Knights. It just feels like even though the Knights have all the tools that they need to make things work, maybe one or two things haven't gone their way. It just feels like they haven't been able to gel together as a team once they get into the lobby. I did get to speak to the Knights a little earlier in the stage, and I know that sorting out their scrim times and getting that practice in with Speakeasy, especially doing his national service over in Singapore as well, has been quite challenging for them. And so coming into the stage, it was just about making that 5 roster work, and it doesn't seem to have come together.
No, but Dev, there is every scenario that, you know, it clicks on the final Playday. We've seen it so much.
If it happens, all power to them. That would be amazing. Would absolutely love it for them. It's funny because Knights just came off their best. Oh, okay, I was going to say their best ever stage of APAC South, but that's certainly not true because last year they did qualify for the Mexico Major, but weren't able to go due to COVID restrictions. But, you know, Stage 2 this year was arguably, well, it was their best of the year. I'll give it that. It was the best of the year. They won OCS, which was like the National League. They've won OCN as well multiple times. And they pick up Speakeasy, one of the best and most renowned players in APAC, and yeah, they just completely drop it all. If they can bring it up on the final day and really just turn the story around, that'd be phenomenal. Unfortunately, it's too late, boys. It's far too late to make the major.
The train has left the station, as it were, and Direwolves were on it. That's a damn sure. They were on it nearly 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about a team that really has just gone full circle. Hey! What's going on here? What is going on here? Surely not. We're not about to see the boys are back. Surely not.
Is this what I think it is?
Backstreet's back, all right. Am I right, Mandy?
Oh, okay. Reeps must not be playing, right? Because, okay, I probably shouldn't say the reason on broadcast. Never mind. Harambe's back in. Harambe jam time. But Reeps, he's not good. So they've lost their entry in this game, actually, right? And that's the old roster back in. Your Hard Breach is back in instead. Wow, what an interesting matchup this is going to be.
Get some Harambe dances, I really hope. The man himself looking cute as ever and got the Charlotte Major player pass in the background hanging on that lanyard. It's beautiful. Going to add a second one to that collection in Yoncha Pink as well.
I'm not going to lie. We better be seeing Harambe cams the entire time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, Brendan, production, can we just have like a constant pip in the bottom left corner of Harambe at all times?
Yep.
Just constant Harambe cam.
Even if it's a GIF.
Can we get like a loopable GIF of him doing the
dance?
The dance
It's
replays. Yeah, replay up tonight. Is it Isaac? Can we get that please as well?
Just
Thank you.
the entire time. But it's kind of hard to not talk, let's talk seriously for a second though. Direwolves are entering into what could be their second undefeated stage, Mandy. I mean, this is a feat that no other team in APAC have been able to secure.
Yeah, it's really nice to see their resurgence, especially through the turbulent stage 2 they went through. it just felt like the roster of 5 they had in Stage 2 couldn't keep up with the improvement that the rest of APAC South was going in, and by injecting that new life of Reaps, changing up their team dynamic and team structure, it seems like that's exactly what they needed in Stage 3 to come into a new form, and that's the Direwolves that we see now that's a lot more fast-paced, a lot more on the ball, and has a lot more firepower as well.
Let's hope that Reeps is in the backseat coaching now. We'll have a look at the vetoes to see where we're going to be heading for this one. I think no matter what map we actually head to, this should be an absolute banger. I think like a Classico to kind of finish the broadcast here would really just... There we go. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We're going to Oregon, and I mean, I don't really need to say the history between these two maps, but I will bring up... sorry, between these two teams. Dev, I'll bring up before you talk about this. This was the map that we saw back in the day, Seventh Heaven, come back from a 6-0 against the Knights to beat them on this map. I just wanted to bring that up. That's all.
You have a bloody good memory, you
Never
do. I'm
forget.
impressed that you remember that. Like, that was last year, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yes,
these
I
guys
think
have
it was
been Direwolves
stage...
for a very long
It was probably stage 1, Dev. It was
Why aren't
probably...
you a host? You've got this Giga Brain hiding behind the hosting role, man. Come on. All right, yeah, I'll give you something to work with.
Please.
I love the rivalry between these teams because despite everything, despite Direwolves being first overall in APAC South, first in the major spot, and Knights, struggling to make the major and being rough, Knights actually beat Direwolves in stage 2, and on this map, Knights beat TYDE just 2 weeks ago. They've been all right. They did unfortunately lose to Fury, but everyone seems to be losing to Fury these days. Direwolves, on the flip side, have had a lot of good performances, and in fact are undefeated on this map the last 4 times they've played it. 2 of those were against the Gladiators as well. So I'd say this is a really strong map for Direwolves. However, it is a map where there's just so many VODs out there of how Direwolves play it. So if Knights have done their homework and they were hoping and planning to go to Oregon, they should have a few tricks up their sleeve.
Well, that's probably what we need to see, Mandy. Who are you backing in? I'll just let you. I'll let you dissect that one. Who are you going for here?
I backed in Direwolves for my predictions because I
Okay.
think that they just look good at the moment. They're undefeated. That being said, they are playing without Reaps. I think that is going to play quite a big difference into the server. Knights, they're composed. They're going to play Oregon the way you need to. And Oregon is one of those maps where things like hard breach and being on the same page and kind of doing things in steps and methods is kind of important. And I think that not having a team flow on your attack will make it a little challenging for the Direwolves. So I would say Knights definitely have an in on this match. It's possible they could take it.
Well, it's exciting. It's the last game of the season. And to run you through all the action, it's Guz and Xenox.
Hang on, sorry. 2 seconds.
Just start again. Start again.
Can we run it back? Rob, do you
Yeah.
want to... Nah, well, whatever. We'll just carry on. We'll do it live. What is essentially our final game, of course, of the season. Doesn't mean a whole lot being up front, guys, of course, for the Direwolves already locked into that first place position. The only thing that the Knights can achieve is basically overtaking Wildcard, getting into 5th, but that doesn't really change much for them either.
Yeah, look, it is a bit of a nothing game in that sense, but there are still some storylines we can extract. Direwolves as well, of course, going for the impromptu flawless run or the lossless run throughout this stage as well. So we'll be tracking that, seeing if they can get it across the line. Of course, they're already locked in for a first place finish, but it would be a good way to end the stage without dropping a single game.
Yeah, it certainly would be as we head to Oregon to close out 2022 for APAC South, of course, though, for some of our respective teams, Direwolves and Fury. They will be continuing on at the major, and of course, we're watching on with great interest, but it all comes to an end here for our final game, and unfortunately, a bit of a dead rubber, Guz, but we've done pretty well for ourselves for the final Playday, I'm not going to lie. We had some banging games. Elevate, of course, for those that missed it, did defeat Gaming Gladiators and have practically all but secured their place at the 6th Invitational, 99.2%, and Fury, of course, taking down TYDE 8-7 in what was honestly a bit of a surprise match. I probably wasn't expecting it to be that close, but unfortunately for this match, not a whole lot riding on it. Ying, Nook banned out. I will say, though, of course, for these teams respectively, guys, once you get into the game, once you get into the server, you do generally play as hard as you possibly can, and yeah, maybe the lead up to it, you're not exactly sitting around itching with anticipation to jump in, but once you're in, you're just playing the game, you want to win.
Yep.
Copium?
Hey, you said we're going to take this cast seriously, all right? I want a bit of professionalism from you. I know it's the last broadcast of the year, but it's about time you stepped it up. You've had a bit of an attitude issue this year that we need tidying up.
Yeah, well, I'm very much looking forward to this enthralling battle between the Knights and the Direwolves. Knights on the defense, Direwolves on the attack. And we're heading to Meeting and Kitchen to start with. Guys, what have you got your eyes on for this game?
Q&A session, is it? Over towards Kitchen. I mean, we haven't talked about the bans yet, so we can briefly touch on that. Nook taken out. We did see quite a bit of Nook gameplay earlier on in the night in that Oregon matchup. Elevate in particular using it quite well. Definitely some points of entry where you can use that operator to great effect. So teams won't have to worry about that lurk entry. The other one that really does stand out is probably that Ying, really explosive on the executes. As for Wamai, Mirror, not standing out as being overly impactful. Most teams don't really want Mirror on this map, and I guess Wamai has been experimented here and there anyway. So we head over towards Kitchen, as I said, for the first round. So already a bit of an off-meta pick to start things off, but Knights probably need to experiment to get a win here, I think.
Obviously, we're speaking about lovely. Devmana brought it up. The streak for the Direwolves. It is something to sort of keep in mind. It's hard to envision the Knights breaking that streak, though. I think in all fairness, it'll probably get broken at the major. If the Knights were to stop it now, though, I guess maybe it's one less thing to worry about for the Direwolves. I don't think they'll be going into the major caring about that kind of statistic, in all fairness. Knights on the defense first, though, here for Oregon. What have they got in the bag? It's kind of been somewhat similar to last year. I was actually kind of just taking a peek back to the end of 2021, Stage 3 for the Knights. They finished last, guys, in terms of, sort of bringing back maybe some unpleasant memories for the Knights fans. 7 points, dead last, was not a good end to the stage. And in some ways, Stage 3, of course, for 2022 is shaping up to be largely similar, which is, a little bit disappointing. And I guess, though, it does kind of now fit for a bit of a theme for the Knights. They start well in the year and kind of drop off as the year progresses.
Minute into the round, not too much has happened, just some groundwork at the moment from the Direwolves. Decent foothold over towards bedroom, armory. Breach created in towards games as well, so it's not looking too bad for them to try and get some vert control up above the objective. Juicy contesting in Kids, Sage as well over towards Pit. So still key players that need to be dealt with here by the Direwolves. Josh also rendering assistance, so the Knights pretty heavily stacking presence up above here.
Sage going to get the opening kill, might just get one more. Never mind, ED with a very decent swing. Juicy getting rid of that drone. Still 5 more available, but Josh gets the kill onto ED. Taking that position deep inside Attic, falling back over towards Pit. Just over a minute remaining. Knights with a slight advantage. The keeper barrier being able to block the door off does force out a little bit more utility from Jackie Woot, but responded with another keeper barrier.
See if Juicy can hold down this position. Pinned down, but does have a cross with Josh. Keeper barrier offering some good support. Sees the shoulder of Souffle, but he wins the fight. Josh for a trade, but Souffle for 2. Leaves us in a 2 versus 2. Diffuser not in the hands of the Direwolves. They'll need to try and collect that for the closing portion of this first round. Speakeasy uses the first of his gas canisters. That should delay the remainder of the round. Just stall out this attack a little bit longer. Pika makes his way across, able to collect that diffuser, but Stig's sitting and waiting, has heard that entire play. Pika now will prepare for a plant, but Stig should be able to deny.
Not only that, but Speakeasy still has 2 gas bombs as well. Red ping goes out, as he said. Stiggs to deny, should be able to do so. A little bit of an awkward wall bang from Stiggs, but he got the job done despite making a meal of it over towards Kitchen, as he does confirm the round win. So it's the Knights that take the opening round here against the Direwolves.
Yeah, not too much really to comment on that particular round. I think the Knights did a great job in denying presence up above. Direwolves tried to stack it pretty hard and rely on spacing to win out the trades, but didn't quite play out that way, and the cross from Josh over towards Pit was actually quite strong. So well done there, backing each other up there on the roam. They make the tertiary site work, and we head back down, or we head to rather basement for the first time. A site which should be a little bit more successful for the defense, especially considering some of the operators in play.
I pose a question to you guys.
I'm ready and waiting.
And I just want a simple yes or no. I don't want explanations.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Do the Direwolves make top 2 without Reaps? We'll put Harambe in the position.
For stage 3?
For stage 3.
10 seconds to go.
No.
Oh. Why? Now I'll let you explain
Oh,
why.
well, why did you? I could have explained before. Well, I think it's pretty fair to say that Direwolves did begin to struggle a little bit in stage 2. That's when they were having these issues, and that's, I think, how they responded with that roster change of Reaps. It worked out really well. He had a great stage. I mean, maybe it's a little bit unfair to say he solo carried the team to first. That's obviously not the case, but I think he did buff the team overall. And considering just how close and competitive it was, without that extra strength, they probably would have struggled to make top 2.
Yeah, I largely agree. I mean, obviously for the Direwolves, for those unaware, back in stage 2, didn't quite go to plan off the back of what was, you know, arguably a very, very good stage 1, and in some way probably caught a lot of people off guard. Stiggs over towards security once again, as he was in the round gone prior. Has been forced back a little bit. Of course, Direwolves going completely undefeated in stage 1. 7 and zip. They had a 24-round differential. Obviously here for stage 3, it is 5-0, 16-round differential, but 2 of those wins in overtime. So not as clean, but still on the verge of going for a complete streak here once again. Speakeasy, though, does get the down on to Pika. Captures him. Minute 45 left.
No sign of a trade on the attacking side. Speakeasy, in fact, actually going to fortify his position inside of bedroom for a basement defense. Not the safest of places to play, but the swing might net a kill. Nets damage, but no kill in the end. In fact, it's a double for the Direwolves. The other Roma and Josh dealt with. It's a pretty swift response from the attack. And the Knights now will probably need to back themselves on site.
Juicy very adequate at those fruits and stairs. Maybe not quite living up to the reputation of Sapper, but he can hold it generally quite well. I think he's got some company. Well, maybe not the best initial gas pape, and has fallen off of that stairs position, especially considering the fact they are down to just 3 players. They cannot be affording for Juicy to go down defending that position this early on. 40 seconds left in the round, though. And a very last second flank here from Souffle, making his way over towards blue.
Attackers recovered the.
It's been droned, so they know it's clear, at least in the initial entry. Danger, though, over towards Pillar, being held by Stiggs. Deployable shield, player spotted. Thinks about the aggressive play, but ultimately better of it. The nade lands, a lot of damage, a huge chunk, blind still.
15 seconds to go.
Dazed and confused, but still in a position to make a play.
Oh, no.
Stage finds one, Stiggs with the down. And look at that time dwindling. Only 5 seconds left in red time. Juicy in the 1 versus 2. You back him in to win these, but Jackie Wu makes a play of his own.
I love Juicy, I love the Dom, but the way this stage has gone for the Knights, not sure you can back him in a 1v2 at the moment. Maybe months, years gone by, but at the moment, at the present time, hasn't quite been the stage for the Knights in making those kind of plays. And I think that's probably what has been missing and lacking in some instance for the Knights, and their ability to clutch round wins, potentially from where they maybe would in the past.
I think it's time to hand your passport in. Your citizenship.
I need it.
You're betraying the Oceanic region.
Yeah, but I mean, the Oceanic region just kind of sucks. Let's go APAC. Woo! Thailand number 1.
I'm just going to pretend that I didn't hear you say that.
Well, yeah, okay.
I don't agree with him, chat. Don't associate me
What,
with...
you don't agree? Thailand number 1?
Well,
It's actually Taiwan.
Technically, it's not.
Sorry, Direwolves.
The number 1 team's in the server right now.
Yeah.
5 seconds to go.
We'll move on from those inflammatory comments. For round 3, upstairs. Dorms, our favourite site. Always seems to be the one where the highest stake rounds take place. This one perhaps not too high stake at the moment, but whoever wins it gets an initial lead on the triple rotation to kick things off, and often a good position to find yourself in, specifically if you're on the defense. Proving that They'll have a strong footing on this map. Stig's roaming down below. Valkyrie is in play, so no shortage of information in combination with that echo. Direwolves will need to try their hardest in making sure that's dealt with.
Aggressive sweep coming out from the Direwolves here. Courtesy of Souffle on the Jackal. Jackie as well on the Dokovic. And they've basically cleared all the way over to Ball White Stairs now, rather early on in the round. I imagine there's going to be some sort of presence eventually over towards that big window. That's going to be the push, but they want to establish Vert obviously down below first. Clear out players like Stigs, who obviously has been playing this position, has those pings, and plays off of it very, very wisely. Gets the kill onto Harambe. There's a trade elsewhere, though, courtesy of Souffle. That one over towards meeting side. Josh playing that backstairs position. Does not get a trade and has a bit of company, at least in Stigs. They might just be able to play off of each other here and clear out Souffle.
Souffle just holding down the line. Stigs and Josh for the tandem roam. Make it a triple with Sage as well. Offside at the moment, looking to clamber their way back. So it offers Direwolves a slight reprieve, an opportunity to set themselves up. They still do have hard breach in play, but stalked down below. Those Yokais from Juicy spot out Jackie Wu. It looks like Direwolves are prepping for a main window jump in, and that's exactly what ED commits to. Juicy under pressure, they dance around the bunk, and it's Juicy to win out.
Yeah, that was a very ballsy move from ED and the Direwolves, and they're going to cough up the round because of it. No chance that Souffle was going to clutch the 1v4, didn't even have sight control. Basically every form of entry was already being largely watched. It's a good start from the Knights, by and large. What's been a rough stage for them. You know, they started off their campaign, Playday 1, Playday 2, losing to both of the TYDE teams in Elevate and Fury. They got an overtime win against Wildcard and then a win against TYDE, of course, who, well, everyone has beaten this stage. And from then, they lost basically the game I felt at the time they needed to win against the Gaming Gladiators. Lost that one 7-8. Did go down to the wire, and that was, of course, the last game that they did play, Guz, and as they did have Playday 6 off as their bye week. Now, had they beaten GG in regulation, they actually would have been in a position where they could have still, including right now, been fighting for a top 2 position had other results gone their way tonight. So, you know, in theory, we look at them at the moment, second last, but the reality is they weren't too far off a couple of results being flipped in still being a team competing for a position at the majors. So, maybe I've been too harsh on them.
Maybe you have.
Or maybe I haven't been harsh enough.
Oh.
No,
I don't think you need to go in anymore. Are you going to apologize for your previous statements?
Oh, no.
You don't like apologizing, do you?
No, not really, no.
I don't think I've ever heard you say sorry in my entire life.
Oh, the Six is going for this for the 4th time in a row, by the way. He's done really well from this position, while 4 times, 4 kills now for Stigs from security. Every single round, it has been his strength. You get that opening kill. Rotate back down to basement. I tell you what, Knights are on here.
Feeling themselves at the moment. Confidence oozing in a match that really doesn't mean anything for them. No opportunity for extra prize money, but a bit of extra pride if they jump wild card their Oceanic compatriots in the standings if they do get a win here. The stage that has fallen short of their expectations, but that lends itself into the league just being so competitive. Minute 30 now remains on the clock. ED trying to do some groundwork over towards the lobby, but the hatch has been electrified by Speak Easy, the Kaid, the Electro Claws, posing problems. Direwolves don't have really anything to counter that unless they send nades down below, but that's going to be quite cumbersome. So we'll see how they adopt their plans from here.
Pika with a big kill onto Stigs. Shuts down the security minutes. Juicy once again falling off of that freezer stairs position, elects to just push further back. And does give up some of the choke point. Easy finds a kill to Souffle, and for the most part in this match, the Knights have done a really good job in the middle portion of these rounds in getting these kills in a timely manner. When it comes to execution time for the Direwolves, they're just down. They look down and out. Pika over towards that laundry stance position, but he too gets traded. They just don't have the numbers. They're losing players too early in these rounds, and ED, this is a little bit too late in the round. Makes his way over towards backstairs, but there's a player at Pillar. To his right and one to his left. They hold the angle. He cannot clear both of them. No chance at all. And the Knights take a 3-1 lead here on Oregon.
Nice little cross there to put a bow on the round for the Knights. And a map so far which has been looking pretty good for them. Had there been some actual stakes on this match, it would have looked very concerning for the Direwolves. First v 6th. We'd be scratching our heads at this point thinking that the Direwolves may lose to the second last team in the league. I mean, they may still, but obviously doesn't mean anything. Nonetheless, the Knights continue to fight. Pause called. Don't know if it's attack. We'll get confirmation from that eventually. Looks like meeting and kitchen will be the site, and confirmation that, yeah, it is a tactical from the Direwolves as they look to try and clean up the half.
There is one more element to all of this, guys. One that has not been spoken about. One that has gone silent in the background. One that many are watching right now are aware of that we're not. It's Twitch points. Channel points.
Oh, really?
Yep. Big factor, right? It means a lot.
Okay.
A huge amount was put on the Direwolves. Massive.
How much?
Extraordinary. I don't actually know the number. I glanced at it. I think it was something like 6 million to like 900,000 or something. Like, I mean, we're talking like a massive discrepancy here. So if the Direwolves were to lose this game, everyone in Twitch chat's going to be sad about the channel points. I don't know. That's all I came up with.
I'm glad that you told me that. My life has been changed forever. I don't think I've put any predictions
I have.
for a long time.
I have.
I should probably have a look at how many points I actually...
Let's just say I don't have many points.
Well, that's not really a shock, is it?
Well, straight back into the game, fortunately, from that tactical timeout. Hopefully, for the Direwolves' sake, they can discuss their issues. Of course, it has been a theme this stage, though, guys. We mention it every single time. Or I mention it every single time.
Probably you.
Yeah. Well, they like to lose the first couple of rounds, take a tactical timeout. Odin says, you're all bad, and they say, oh, yeah, we know. And then they win like 7 in a row. The end. Well,
It would actually be a crazy way to finish the stage if they do exactly that and win this game 7-3, don't drop another round. It would actually be starting to get a little bit silly at this point.
It certainly would be.
Wait and see though. Oh! Our great friend, James Dev Martyr Stewart, has actually given us the numbers. He's given us the details. Found it in the evidence cabinet.
Oh, wow. 75 to 25%. So 8.5 million points on the Direwolves and 2.8 million for the Knights.
I'd say that's kind of fair.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Good return if the Knights get up. They don't look bad at the moment. Cheeky 4x.
Oof.
Not too shabby.
I don't know what you can spend the points on. Just redeeming the minus 640, I think. That's about it. Oh, that is a random Nitrocell from Stigs, but I tell you what, it does chunk Harambe down to half health, and Harambe swings and gets the kill. Well, only one player really was able to play off of the intel of that Nitrocell, and it was Harambe. 4 versus 4, though. There was a kill back the other way, and this is aggressive. Juicy falls off, but Pika walking into security. Well, the first round that we don't see Stigs play the security position, and the Direwolves just waltz straight in.
First round after the tactical. Coincidence? I think not. Direwolves here to play, but Sage on the vert here to play as well. 3 versus 3, half the round remains. B site relatively exposed, that's in towards kitchen of course, but Josh is up above, does have vertical presence. Direwolves shift their attention though over towards split, look for an entry over towards A, and you can see just how exposed that site is, and I think Direwolves here have made a great call.
Sage trying to play off of that ping. Speakeasy loses a bit of his life, so falls back. Throws out the gas babe. Josh, drop down into kitchen. What can he cook up here? Gets through to Harambe. No dancing for you. The gas babe obscuring the vision. It's still a lot of time. It feels like almost like a 20-second minute rush there at the end, but no, there's still a minute left, guys. They can slow it down here a little bit, the Wolves.
ED sits and waits, waiting for someone to make a move, but it's himself that moves forward. He dies, but Souffle is left in the 1 versus 3 with the Deagle in hand. That's actually Josh, so I'm absolutely tripping. Tactical timeout does not work for the Dire Wolves. Knights claim the round.
Okay, now I'm convinced Dire Wolves are going to lose.
Not looking good.
No, it's not looking... Hey, look, Vertex is in the game.
Who?
Never noticed that. Yeah, on the crane, Vertex. You won't know. So 4-1 scoreline to the Knights. They've cracked the code of the Dire Wolves tactical timeout. And maybe the streak coming to an end, it seems. I think Dev said 19 maps. I mean, I haven't actually counted. To me, it seems like, yeah, 19. So since the 31st of July, 19 maps in a row that the Dire Wolves have won. Would it be better for them for the streak to end before going to the major? You know, suffer a little bit of defeat, do some VOD reviews, get better. Get out of the, you know, stop drinking the bath water.
I guess. I mean, you do want to lose, now's the time. Not that I really agree with the philosophy, but right, we could run with it. If they go on to win the major, then good on them. Hopefully they actually get to attend this one. That would be nice. What? It's the biggest APAC debuff.
That's true. That's the APAC jail. You gotta break your way. You quite literally have to break your way out to get to the major.
Gonna sneak onto the next flight to Sweden.
Oh no.
Well, round 6.
Unfortunately, it's divulging into this.
It is a little bit. Well, Dire Wolves need to focus up because they're losing the plot a little bit like us at the moment. 2-4 wouldn't be too bad, but the way the Knights are playing at the moment, actually not too shabby at all. Taking this game seriously, we expect nothing less from this roster.
Yeah, but for the Dire Wolves, they've got really nothing to lose even when they lose this game, because they can sit back and say, well, we didn't have Reaps. They can also sit back and say, well, the game didn't matter to us because not only have they got first place secured, but they're going to the major anyway. And then the old adage, oh, we didn't want to reveal anything. So they have so many excuses that they can throw out there. And not only that, but Oregon is one of their worst maps, technically. It's not usually one of the maps that we see from them in their map.
Yeah, but what about the channel points? I mean, these poor innocent people in chat have
unfortunately,
poured their
they're
points
just a
into the Dire Wolves.
byproduct.
It's just not acceptable.
Oh, Jackie Wu though. Well, maybe they might just start to kick into gear. Gets the kill onto Sage. They have already lost Harambe though, which is their hard breach. The games will stay fortified. They have to find another entry point, and Souffle has made his way over to big window. Minute 12 seconds left. Dire Wolves, the 4 versus 3 advantage.
Minute now. Speakeasy, it's been a relatively quiet stage by his standards. A couple of good games, but he'll be looking to end the stage on a high. 3 picks so far in an important position now over towards kids' dorms. Can help watch the jump in. Also monitor that pit position where Peak is placed right now as well. Could even swing onto ED, so there's a lot on his plate. Juicy as well. Great spot.
Oh, what is that angle?
Jackie Wu, the power position on the cross as Josh finds Pika. Souffle to trade. 3v1 now. Speakeasy.
Wait,
We mentioned he's in an important spot, but they all fall.
Who was watching Big Window? Just vaulted in, got a free kill onto Juicy, and then got 2 more kills after that. I mean, that was a little bit freeload from the Dire Wolves in the end. Knights should have been watching some of those more critical positions, but it's still a 4-2 half. 4 rounds on the defense for the Knights. Not too shabby. You take that on Oregon. Certainly would not be complaining with that first half, and obviously in a position where 3 rounds away from taking a win against the Dire Wolves, they could be the only team this stage to take down DW. I mean, that's basically better than going to the major, isn't it?
Not quite.
Damn, rats.
I mean, I guess it's close. Kind of. Not really. See on the attack though, if the Knights can get the job done, they kick things off here with a round win. Would apply quite a bit of pressure. Some pretty creative and aggressive repicks coming through for the attack. Juicy onto the Monty.
Repics.
5 seconds to go.
I said Juicy, didn't I?
Oh, I thought you said Repics. Oh,
I think I
repicks.
said Juicy.
You said repicks.
I said
Attacker
repick.
repicks. Sorry, I was mesmerized.
Repix isn't in APAC.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe one day. If they win a best of 3. Just gotta get it out one more time. Last time, I promise.
So Pika over towards small tower, hanging around that corridor position. Josh not making his way in just yet though, and Pika will fall back. The laundry supply to start the second half. It's ED though. That starts us off by getting the opening kill onto Stigs, who started 4-1, is now 5-5. Juicy on the Montang will start to make his way over towards backstairs with the Fuser in hand. There's a double power play possession here for the Direwolves around Pillar. It's not going to be easy for Juicy to push through this, and now being down the Finker as well, not ideal.
Yeah, really need Speakeasy to get to work here with util clear. A couple of Roteros have been sent out. Looks like their effect has been pretty good. Goyo canisters being ejected, barbed wire eradicated. Josh as well, soloing over towards Laundry for a potential back push. Combo that with the E1D on the scan. Could be a decent play, but Jackie Wu is aggressive. Doors barricaded, so that's not going to be ideal. Knights not in the best of positions. They need to get the ball rolling somewhere, find an opening, find a pick, find a bit of ground down below. Juicy with the secondary hard breach, able to pop the hatch inside of meeting. I don't think anyone will go for the drop, at least not immediately. Groundwork okay, but translating that to a pick will be tricky.
Minute and 12 seconds remaining. So much work for the Knights still to do. Obviously, when you bring in that Montang, you kind of want to play off of that win condition. So they're going to drone Pika, and then the Rotero just sticks to the side of the stairs?
Goyo.
Oh.
That's why there's the
Well,
fire.
okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense, yeah.
It was hard to see, admittedly.
I
did
literally
see
could not see it.
I didn't either.
Thought potentially might have messed that one up, trying to clear out Pika from Harry Potter, but yeah. 40 seconds left. It's go time now for the Knights, so you've cleared out that Vulcan canister. Now you've got to clear out that player as well.
I think Josh will have to drop eventually, but doesn't have much to drop into. Sage 1v4, isolated on the stairs, the swing strong. It's a trade to close things out. Dar was stamping their authority downstairs.
Yeah, a little bit messy there from the Knights. Didn't obviously quite catch the opening kill from ED. But when you bring in that Montang and you can't play off of it as much as you would certainly like to, it does just really lessen your win condition when you're especially picking into an operator that can't necessarily flex all that much if the initial plan goes astray. So the Direwolves went out below. Not really too much of a surprise on Laundry Supply. They head up above now. Kids Dorms here in the 8th round. It was the Knights that got off to a fast start in this game. They got out to that 3-1 lead, but the Direwolves slowly clawing it back.
Is that all you had to say? You're leaving it on a bit of a cliffhanger there.
Well, there's not much else to really add to it.
I mean, it's your job. You gotta have
The
something to say.
cliffhanger is the fact that we're still playing, so you just got to watch and wait and see what's going to happen here.
I mean, I could sit here in silence and watch the game, but that would be a little bit boring. Jackie Wu, though, is trying to make it exciting over towards Small Tower, but nothing really comes of it. Just an early engagement, an early bit of pressure. Perhaps a drone even taken as well. Stig's looking, I think, to try and open up that side of the map into small tower. Credit to Stig's, probably, in my opinion, the most influential player on the team this year, even.
Pretty good.
Performed really well. Probably their most consistent player, and even in rough games, seems to do a decent job.
I think that looking at some of his statistics, he's technically not rated the best. It is Sage, but Stigs is the only player on the team that is positive on entry. And he's 13-4, mind you.
Yeah.
So +9 entry is insane.
Been really good.
He has the highest headshot percentage on the team as well. And he's got the second best KD. Unfortunately, his survival rate somewhat low, and same with his cost. And that is where he's losing out to Sage. And that's where the rating difference is, which, you know, 0.06.
I mean, you don't expect him to survive on entry, but yeah, the cost is probably a little bit concerning.
But, you know, clearly has had a good stage, and I know that obviously Juicy has been such a sensational player for this team for so long now, but he has
we cursed him.
been the one that struggled, and yeah, Stig
Ah,
starts.
no.
Well, we did no.
That's
hang
your
on,
fault.
No, hang
That's
on a
your
second.
fault.
No, hang on. He was 4-1, and has gone 1-5 since going 4-1. We didn't just start it. It's not like he's 10-1
Yeah,
or
but
something. It has already begun. It's over. And this round might be over soon as well. Because it's really heating up towards the mid round. 4 versus 4. Josh getting the kill back onto Pika. And now all the flashes and the utils and the smokes go out. And Gasbabe too. Sage straight onto site though. And he's going to actually catch ED off guard. Don't think he was prepared for that. He wants a little bit more. Fortunately, a bit of a one-way through the wall there. And he's going to catch him off guard. Harambe falls. So does Jackie Wu. And Souffle in 1 versus 3. Bot white stairs position. I don't see where he's going to be able to win this one from.
No,
So
still hasn't used his nitro.
it doesn't matter.
Too late. Plant's down. Might hit the shot. No, he won't hit the shot. Well done there by the Knights. Really good pressure to be able to crack open that site. Credit to Sage, credit to Speak Easy standing out. Be able to get that one across the line. Decent trade early as well from Josh, despite Stiggs falling outside. And the die was not really able to capitalize from some of that vert control they had down below.
Yeah, and now 1 round away from guaranteeing at least 1 point for the Knights here in their final game of the stage. And if they can secure 1 point, guys, that one handy point, it would put them above wildcard.
Which would also mean that they are the best team
From
in the
Australia.
Oceanic region right now.
So much on the line. Can't be dropping that. Not only that, but if they do get 1 more point, just to hype it up even more, it would tie for their worst stage in APAC South
That's
history.
not.
Well,
That's not exactly hype though, is it?
Well, no, yeah, 7 points is the worst that they've ever put in. That was stage 3 last year.
So they just aren't good at
Stage
the
three?
third stage. It's just a bit of a curse, I guess, maybe.
I said it before, they start the year well and then drop off as the year progresses.
5 seconds to go.
But yeah, I mean, look, 1 point would, I guess, make things look a little bit better.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
See if they can get it done. Amaru locked in for the 9th round. Makes sense considering it's upstairs once more. But ED with the spawn peak confirms the kill onto Sage, who's been quite dominant for the Knights in this match so far. And not only are they going to lose his frag potential, but those Roteros as well. Stiggs for the trade, that looked dangerous, but steps up on the entry as we expect and as the numbers suggest.
Yeah. And obviously for the Knights, bringing it back to that 4 versus 4, I mean, the way that this game has sort of progressed, the confidence has to be there now that they can actually win this game. They've been in a really good position over the last couple of rounds to maintain this lead. And the one thing I've actually been really impressed with from the Knights has been their ability to manage the numbers in the rounds themselves. You know, if they lose a player early, they're just consistent enough to be able to get that trade elsewhere and bring it back to 4v4, slow it down, good util usage. I think the timing has generally been good as well. Harambe is clearly rusty as well. 2-7 for our dancing sensation of APAC South, but evidently needs to hit the Kovacs.
Personally, I'm more of an AIM Labs enjoyer.
I hope none
I
of those are
don't-
sponsors.
I
Or
don't know what Kovacs is. I only use AIM Labs.
I love AIM Labs.
Harambe uses AIM Labs. You know, drop Josh. Pulls back now over towards Pit. You are so bad. You should lose your job, honestly, at this point. I don't think you deserve a job. Anyway, Juicy's doing his. That's breach open in towards Games. He has a diffuser tucked under his arm, so he'll be wanting to try and make an entry, try and get some space in towards the site. A player does cross though. Unfortunately for him, Harambe goes to unnoticed. The drone though will probably help identifying this player. If not, could cause issues, but there's issues elsewhere. Juicy does fall again over towards the breach. It's now not in a good spot. Harambe's been allowed to sit chilling, yeah. Not spotted, not found. Speakeasy falls. Stiggs, he's been good. We've hyped him up, but to find 4 here on this cross is asking the impossible.
He could do it. Just starts with the dream. Oh,
You heard
no.
the story.
What was one?
Four.
Oh, he doesn't get the second.
Ah, he could have too.
Well, 3 from Harambe over towards Pet. Clearly has been spending some time in the aim labs in the last 30 seconds, Guz. And it's showing up. It's showing.
Basement now for round 10. The Knights so desperately wanting that additional point to jump above wildcard in the standings, but Doubles making it difficult for them. Doubles, to their credit, haven't completely rolled over in a match that, again, to be blunt, means absolutely nothing for them. They're first, they're locked in, they're going to the major. They can't go to SI. So, really not too much else to worry about for them, but wanting that lossless record. We can't quite call it flawless because they've had some regulation wins, whereas, correct me if I'm wrong, but their actual flawless run was all regulation wins in stage 1, so we don't want to discount that. Knights though, how do they respond? A couple of interesting repicks coming through. Mav in play from Juicy, try and counteract that Kaid from Souffle. Sledge as well in play, a couple of nades, and perhaps invert controls and invert pressure if Knights want to clear the map.
No, I can't make drone noises. Oh, I didn't even know where to
We
begin.
don't have an audio bug, you don't need to do the noises.
You know what? We've not had that for a very long time. I'm glad that got fixed. Thanks for reminding me of that, Cuts. Oh, here we go. Oh, never
no.
mind.
Oh,
What?
oh.
Timing. Hashtag timing.
Why'd you have to hashtag it? You're almost 30.
I don't see what age has to do
That's
with
some
that.
boomer humor from you.
Aren't you almost 30 now? Getting there.
Not quite. Not quite. I
Well,
feel 30 though. I do feel it.
I feel like I've aged 1,000 years in this game. In this round, actually. No, just this particular round. I don't know what the Knights have done here. Have they done anything?
Well, we've just got to be patient. Trust the process. Minute 30. There's Speakeasy up above, as we mentioned before. Bit of vert pressure down to the staircase, but Doubles aren't pressuring it. I'm really looking at Juicy to
Come on,
start getting
chop, chop.
involved.
Get up.
Needs to get these hatches opened. Here we go.
Yeah, this is extremely slow from the Knights. And it's not like there was a whole heap of pressure either from the Direwolves. I mean, we saw at the start of the round, watching them as a train run down Freezer, but there was not really anything else from the Direwolves. 50 seconds left, and the Knights have no position gain. To me, this just seems like it'll be a drop, meeting hatch, maybe a couple players backstairs. If they can kill the player pillar, get some kills on the drop, maybe they can salvage this round. Speakeasy now actually over towards Laundry. Has just kind of gone solo. 30 seconds left, Guz.
Speakeasy pulls the trigger. doesn't find the kill, reveals his position. Knights with foothold over towards the freezer stairs, but transitioning this in towards site is going to be challenging. Keeper barriers as well, posing problems. Grenade to deal with that. Josh does find the entry though, so it's in favor of the Knights, but Jackie Wu for 3!
Woo!
Jackie Wu goes large. Josh now to find 3 of his own, but he can't do it. Direwolves lock out the round.
Jackie Wu. Superstar sensation for the Direwolves. Well, I mean,
Can we get an Uru from you?
technically, not really much of a surprise, Guz, considering
didn't-
how slow the Knights were.
Jake, you didn't answer my question. Can we get just like a little...
Oh, you were
Uru?
serious. I thought you were
Yeah,
just joking.
I
No,
was dead set.
there's absolutely no way.
What would I have to do for you to do it?
No, I wouldn't ask that of you. Tactical timeout called by the Knights. Carry on, guys. Come on, a bit of professionalism. A lot to
I'm
break
waiting.
down. A lot to break down from that round because they
mean,
were slow. They were very
Yeah,
slow.
there is a lot to break down. I think on this occasion I'll leave it up to you. It seems like you've got some really
I'm
good
trying
ones.
to. You keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
A very slow-paced attack from the Knights. Failed to clear a lot of the objectives. Couldn't get through their checklist in time. The meeting hatch was left open until under a minute remaining in the round. Not much of a pressure either from Freezer side. They did have at least one sort of foray over towards Laundry. That was about it. I mean, in all fairness, it was probably the most lackluster round this map from them. By and large, they haven't really been that bad this map, but that round was almost the epitome as to how they've been playing this stage. So that was a little bit disappointing, and otherwise what's been a pretty decent showing from the Knights. 5-5 scoreline against the first place Direwolves, but that round was pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Flip it, ship it, put it on a poster.
How?
Top tier
Like,
analysis.
just the
from
word pretty, like
Jake.
just the words pretty bad on a poster. That's it.
I mean, that's about as deep as you get on these broadcasts, so we'll take it. Round 11 then. We shape up, meeting kitchen. Breakpoint, as Dev has coined the term. Must be a tennis fan. Australian Open's coming up soon, if you want to come down. Completely irrelevant to this, of course.
It's like pack percentage. Oh, 94%. Let's go.
Objective is to locate a bomb.
Hell yeah.
Focus in, focus in. Of course, the winner of this round will get match point for the Knights. That means jumping up in the standings.
No way.
For the Direwolves, it means staying exactly where they are.
Wait, where do the Knights go?
They go above wildcard.
In like second?
Not quite. About 5th.
Oh, fifth. Right.
And they don't get
but
any
they'll get
SI
some-
points or extra
They'll get some
prize.
money, right?
No.
Oh, no. What happens if they lose? They drop down to last, right?
No, they stay where they are.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, come on. You're making my life hard.
You know, we have fun with these dead rubber
We-
games, guys.
We do
Come
have
on.
fun here.
You've
We
got to
do
have fun.
here.
Can't take every single match seriously. We had 2 banging games today.
They were really good. It was always going to be difficult to top. Knights with decent control here, actually. Everyone's big tower, pretty uncontested at the moment. Just be
Oh.
careful of the Pika swing, though. Oh,
You
they've
just
let
got
it slide.
intel. It just got intel from the Gemini as well, and he still swings and kills
And that's
Juicy.
the hard breach. That's probably round over, even with man advantage. This is going to still be pretty tough for the Knights. We'll see how they adapt the push, because they won't be getting through that wall.
Well, they've got 90 seconds to figure it out. And they will have to, yeah, flip the tactics here and figure something out very quickly. Above? Do we go above? I mean, I'm just trying to... it's like they're communicating as they coordinate. So, yeah, it looks like they will go above. They can drop down. So, if they get pit control here, guys, then I wonder, do they still play here for meeting?
60 seconds. He's meeting the play, he's kitchen the play. Well, they need to decide quickly. Because either way, Dire will still have a decent foothold, decent amount of pressure being applied, provided they don't throw away a pick. Information gained, and now it's all about trying to get a physical entry in towards the actual site. Easier said than done. Sage with that Matero just scouts out a little bit. Oh.
Does catch ED there, so that's at least good. They do have intel on the player around entrance position. 30 seconds left. ED does go down courtesy of Speakeasy, who did play off of that drone. Does get traded by Souffle though. Harambe pushing up from pit over towards through Attic now. They know that they've dropped. He's got a good angle. Now he's got that high ground position too. Established. Shotgun in hand. Still has a Nitrocell. So does Souffle. There's absolutely no way the Knights are going to win from here. Sage with Diffuser into red time. They do get the down at least. Harambe now to 1 versus 2. They've got to stick the Diffuser though. They've got to stick the plant. Sage will go for it. Inside a kitchen, Stigs to watch. Nitrocell goes out. Oh, Harambe! Sheesh! Give us a dance, Harambe! I want to see it.
He's a bad man.
There it is.
Oh, it's there. He did it. Can we please get a replay on that prod? There's got to be a replay available for that.
Slow it down, frame it.
Clip it, ship it. Harambe's back, baby. Reaps is out of a job.
He's done.
The Reddit detectives are going to be all over it.
Wait,
Reaps is out of a job.
This, breaking news. This just in. Reaps dropped for the major. Harambe's back in.
Oh.
Let's watch it. Oh, I thought they were going to have the Harambe reaction.
Oh!
We are. Oh, look at him go. He's like, let's go. Where is it? Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, yes. It was worth the wait. I was never sure if we were going to get another one, Guz, but we do. What a way to end APAC South 2022 with a Harambe clutch and Harambe dance. 6-5 match point, Direwolves.
What a way to get match point.
10 seconds remaining.
And what a way to potentially close out the year here for both teams.
5 seconds left.
On a slightly lighter note, I do want to drop you as my casting partner for next year and get Twitch chat next to me. Because they
could
were
you
actually
imagine?
saying, they're actually saying Uwu in the chat.
Oh, were they?
They got the vibes, like they passed the check. Good on.
I wonder if there's a way where you can have Twitch chat commentate through like some kind of voice.
You're going too far.
Activation?
We might actually lose our jobs.
Would we lose our jobs?
Yeah.
I think we would.
I think we would.
It would have to be moderated though, of course. I mean, like you just can't give them complete freedom.
I mean,
Sorry.
you're not moderated, and we know how that goes. So.
No, I've been
probably
banned
right.
in chat before.
I meant on cast.
Oh,
I don't think you've
okay.
been banned on cast, have
No,
you?
I don't- unfortunately. So match point for the Direwolves, 6-5. And to, of course, keep their streak alive, it would go to 20 maps heading into the major. I mean, unless they've got other games that they're going to be playing elsewhere, of course, it will continue there. But it also would mean that they would complete Stage 1 and Stage 3 undefeated, which is quite staggering. We just forget about Stage 2, though, if we're a Direwolf fan. Stage 2 didn't happen.
No.
Fake news.
Write it off. Again, the Knights just trickling slowly through this groundwork. Peak is still a concern inside of Trophy posing a threat. Could elect to be a bit more aggressive or stick on bricks. Coast is clear. Knights need to start getting this hard breach working ASAP. Start pressuring site a little bit more. Josh elsewhere for the pinch. Jackie Boo top freezer stairs. That's also something to keep our eyes on at the corner of our screen. Could be an engagement. It is. A trade of damage either way. Pretty even. Neither will really want to recontest, but Pika wants to do that stage to find that kill. Surely Speakeasy
Harambe.
swings and finds
Oh my God.
Harambe. Speakeasy!
Speak easy. You want to
The
play the game?
timing!
Harambe
Oh!
does go down. Took a little bit of time, and it's even forced out of Guz Moan, which is quite rare. Not gonna lie.
Hasn't been much moaning recently.
No, 4 versus 3. Jackie Wu just pushes up, gets the easy kill on to Speak Easy. 3 versus 3. Oh, Souffle's falling down, so is Jackie Wu. Josh, the Knights, they're on the verge of sending this one to overtime to secure that point that they desperately need to overtake Wildcard in 5th place. There is a Nitrocell still in hand for Souffle. 30 seconds left. This is the push. This is the play. They get rid of ED. 3 versus 1. They surely can't mess this up, and they do not. The Knights send it to overtime. They secure that point. They get 7 points for the stage. They go above Wildcard. They are the best team in OCE.
Well done to the Knights. And I couldn't think of a better game to go the distance. Into overtime we go. A match deserving of all 15 rounds. Would love to see it go
hang
the
on.
entire way.
Hang on. We've just had word. Now, it's not Spravani, but it's Dev Marta, and he's just ran the numbers, he says, that if Direwolves win in overtime, there is
Wait,
a
what?
78% chance
How is it 78?
that it will amount to nothing because this game doesn't matter.
Oh.
Dev!
I actually got debated.
You can't say that, Dev.
I think he deserves to lose his goal.
Well,
over
in fairness, he didn't say that. There's no proof. I could have just made all of that up.
that. Maybe.
6-6 overtime. Well,
I don't
obviously,
really know what to talk about now.
obviously for the Knights, they do get what they maybe would have somewhat wanted, kind of.
5 seconds left before
It's going to be a good interview. I'm looking forward to that one.
attackers' objective.
I just know Matic is really eager to jump into it. Got a lot of questions on his mind.
Oh, 100%.
Can't wait to extract all those thoughts. Jackie Roo's had a pretty good game. 10-9, couple of standout moments.
Right, Harambe's almost top fragging. He's not far away. Is he going to force
There,
his
there
way
is
back
actually
into
going
the
to be a
team?
Reddit thread after this game.
Should
saying,
Harambe
briefs out Harambe in. I'm telling you, there will be. If there isn't already.
Right.
Maybe they're,
Maybe,
they're right.
what
I
if
don't
we
know.
were to get Reddit commentating with Twitch chat commentating?
We definitely lose our jobs.
Now that's a recipe for disaster right there.
Rotero's out from Speak Easy. Here's stage stairs now. The back stairs a little bit more exposed. Mixed success with the Monty from Juicy so far. He'll be looking to try and gain a bit more territory this time. Keep in mind, there's still a defender in Harry Potter. Peak is just tucked away. Being sneaky. Seeing if maybe he can produce something. Also, Speak Easy prepping to try and get blue control and link up with the Monty, but pretty split at the moment from the Knights. And it has been quite slow going on a lot of these attacks. Of course, basement generally takes a little while to wind up, but allowing players like Pika to make plays not ideal. He'll fall back after expending that impact. None of these positions for the Dials feel particularly uneasy at the moment, but as I say it, Speak Easy will drop Souffle. That's a great pick outside blue.
So the Knights have it in them though to find victory in the jaws of defeat. Flash goes out backstairs. Sage looking to get pillar control. Speak Easy's the one that shuts down the dancing Harambe, and ED falls as well alongside him. Josh though dropping down in freezer. He's ice cold because he's dead in freezer, and the Direwolves have just closed out the round. What has just transpired? I don't even know. But the Knights, who looked like they were in a decent position, have capitulated.
Wasn't expecting the C word in a match like this, but capitulation it is. The Knights, after riding the high of jumping up a position in the standings, get knocked back. Still an opportunity though. If they can push it to a 15th round, they might be able to get the result over the line. Darvas now switch over to the attack. We go upstairs, and it's Dorms. It's always Dorms, isn't it, Jake? No more fitting way to potentially end the year, end the stage. That, though, is banking on the Direwolves being able to win out this attack. A couple of repicks do come through. Yamaru, once again, in play, suggesting some early explosive control, or perhaps even an Amaru rush on execute, but without Ying in play, that would probably be a bit of a disaster.
I'll tell you what, if the Knights win this, I'll give it the U word.
5 seconds.
Well, what's the U word?
3
Oh,
letters.
that one. No. Okay, is that a bet?
Well, let's make it interesting.
All right.
That's if the Knights win from here, 8-7. I have to win the next 2 rounds.
Chat would love that.
I really don't think they care.
I think they do. I don't think I've seen them. I don't think I've ever seen them this engaged.
I think they just want their channel points. It's a little too close for comfort. There's going to be some broke people if the Knights win.
They're gonna have no points for the major.
Oh, didn't even think about that. Everyone's like, I'm just going to go in. Direwolves are like going to win 100%. And no points for Major. Sorry. Everyone's going to be like minus 640 in chat and you're going to be like, oh, I can do that. Oh, never mind. I got no points.
Still a couple of rounds away from that potentially occurring, though. Josh, meanwhile, top of Big Tower with a big responsibility.
Ooh. Keep going.
12-8. Grenade, though.
Oh, that's not good.
That's big.
Pop high, Josh.
Yeah, that's perfect. Clean from the Dire Wolves. 5-4 advantage now for the remainder of the round.
Well, for all intents and purposes, it's been fun, guys. We've had fun this match. Apologies for everyone watching, and I mean that sincerely. Nah, I don't really
Is this
care.
like the part where we reminisce about the year? Because it could be over in a minute 30.
Oh, that's right. This is it for
Because we're
APAC
not
South
on the desk.
2022.
Yep.
In a minute and 20
What a
seconds,
journey.
we will be done for this
Maybe.
year.
Maybe. What a journey it's been. The trials, the tribulations, the ups, the downs, everything in between. A bumpy ride at times, but part of the
I'm gonna
APAC
cry.
experience.
You're gonna make me cry.
I am getting a little bit emotional, I think. I feel something in my throat.
– 45 seconds left.
Oh, that's right. I'll take it. I'll do the play-by-play. I'll do the final play-by-play. 30 seconds on the clock. Juicy inside of Kids with a big job on his plate, but there's nothing he could do. Direwolves, they're taking it home. Speaky's in the 1 versus 5, but he's shut down. The Direwolves don't lose a single game in stage
Harambe
3.
dance!
The dance comes through, and Direwolves fully
ED's
deserved of the title.
Now Jackie Wu. They're all getting involved. Oh my god, it's the ED dance.
How does
Oh,
he
he's
have this
breaking
much
it down.
energy? He has so much energy after such a close game.
Well, he has to practice for the major, of course, for the Direwolves. That's where they're heading, to Sweden.
You go to the major.
Direwolves win, and they keep their streak alive. 20 maps straight. They are the best team for this stage. Maybe for the year. There is obviously the Elevate debate, Guz, but what can be said, undefeated for the second stage this calendar year. What a performance from the Direwolves in APAC South. What a year we've had. Oh, we ended on some fun ones with that one. Credit to the Knights, sending it to overtime, giving it their best shot. They do get an overtime point, which has put them above wildcard. So at the very least, they can take that home. But the major prize, of course, goes to the Direwolves, and that's where they'll be heading, to the major. And for me and you guys, that's going to be us done for this year for APAC South. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute journey. I wish I could probably have a different co-caster, but, you know, it is what it is. Maybe next year we'll go to the desk.
Thanks, mate. Love you too.
You know what, Xenox, you and I will duo up next year. We'll be the ones that go to Sweden. We'll be the dynamic duo that never was. Dev, a matchup that really, let's just say, it was a bit of fun. I think everyone was having a bit of fun there. You could see there were a lot of great moments coming out. A lot of smiles, I'll say that much.
Yeah, really love the energy from all the Direwolves boys. The guys were saying it after the game ended. We had some crazy-ass moves from ED. I don't know where he got those from. Harambe is usually the dancer, but ED's got the moves as well, apparently.
He does. Mandy, I mean, there's no real implications for this. I did like your statistic, Dev. Unfortunately, I got debated as well by Xenox. But I tell you what, Xenox is one of the best bullcrappers I've ever met in my life. I'll say that much. He could give you honey and tell you it's mustard and you'd believe it. But Mandy, this matchup to close things out, how fitting of APAC South.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pretty funky match. It was nice to see Harambe back in the server, of course. He actually wasn't playing his usual role. He was there on the entry. He was on Iana. It was a good time. He was even playing his army on the defense. So Mans was having a good game. We love to see that.
It is very true. He was having a very, very decent game. There are a couple of rounds here, I'm not going to lie, where I kind of lost track of all these kills. Direwolves just want it more. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Dev. I think that's really all I've got.
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words, isn't it? Look,
is.
Knights have had a rough stage. I will say this is a pretty decent game for them, taking
For
Direwolves
sure.
to overtime. This is the best team in the league we're talking about after all. And yeah, even though they didn't have Reaps, they showed no signs of slowing down. It's Direwolves once again, and I'm really excited for their prospects going into the major. They've got the vibes down pat. They know how to have a good time, and really that is so important. We've seen that rise of the vibes in performance these days. A lot of people are talking about how important vibes and just having a good time are to your performance. I think Rogue was a great example of that. They didn't scrim at all at the Berlin Major. They were one of the few teams there with the sports psychologist. They just went around and, I don't know, explored the city and spent time with each other, and it meant that they performed even better. And Direwolves, I think, are a pretty good showcase of that within APAC South.
That they are, and one person that is probably the best showcase that we have. It is ED. Let's welcome him in for a final interview here for APAC South for 2022. What have you got there? What's going on here? Oh,
Man.
don't give me
Oh
that.
my God.
It's only.
Oh,
No. What are you doing? What are you doing, ED?
As soon as I found out this is the last interview, oh my god, I'm so touched.
Hey, it's alright.
Oh my
we'll
god,
be
I mean
back, my friend.
we've been working together for 2 years. Oh my god. Time just flies so fast.
ED, we
Oh my God.
saw you go from like a corridor with like a chair into a gaming chair in a full room. The evolution's been incredible, my friend.
See? Now I have gaming chair, so I have to go to major. Woohoo!
Now we've got some really hard hitting questions here for you. Dev would like to know, how are you so good looking?
Oh my god. Just because you guys are too cute, too adorable too. That's why I have to be also good looking. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise I'll be too low key. I don't allow it happens. So
now something that might be a little bit more serious. Obviously, you're headed to
Okay.
Sweden with the rest of the team. So I got to ask you, what are your preparations looking like between now and when you take off? Have you got anything planned?
yeah, like to be honest, it's like more serious problem right now. Like because actually I have a military issues. Not many one knows it. So I was not be able to go. But now things a little bit turn. I will have a little bit chance go there because you guys know military is military. It's not like you want to dodge and dodge. So I find an opportunity to like apply to them. So tell them, hey, I have a very important tournament. I represent Taiwan. I can go to the Sweden, blah blah blah, and they kind of agree for now. So it means that I can go to Sweden, but I probably cannot be participate in the screen before we go to Sweden. That's the case. But anyway, I still trust in our boys because
So
I'm not a fragger.
So,
Anyhow, yeah.
so does that mean Harambe is going to be coming into the roster to fill in where you were?
Yeah, if I cannot go to Sweden, then Harambe will replace me, of course. But if I can able to go to Sweden, then Odin will decide it because I will be like lack of the practice due to the military. Like I still have to go to 1 or 2 weeks. But yeah, so that's the case. So but if I can go, then Odin will decide it. I play or Harambe play. That's the case right now for Sweden. Yep.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we all want to see you at Sweden, but if it doesn't happen, I'm sure that Harambe will fill that spot perfectly.
Mhm.
Now, ED, as is usual tradition, we've got the big question here. It's
Mhm.
one of the last times that we may do it for 2022, so would you like to say anything to the fans?
Oh my god. I don't know how to say it, but it's a last APAC interview probably. I truly be very thankful for all the fans because we were the bottom team before Electrify 7th Heaven. But I know that a bunch of fans didn't give us up and watch we like keep grinding, keep growing up until now. We go to Sweden. Second time we made it in a global tournament. Also, you guys caster, like seeing our path, grinding path, like starting bottom over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful, to be honest. Very appreciated, 100%. So love you guys. I hope that we can like still have a chance like work together or like see you guys. I don't know, some way somehow. Anyways, I just want to pass my vibe, pass my energy to you guys. and wish the best for the future.
ED, my friend, we love you, mate. We absolutely love you. Obviously, we have seen your rise from the what was it, the dining room chair all the way up to the gaming chair. And now, look, hey, you've got to pop a bottle for us. Pop a bottle of champagne when it's all said and done. Before I let you go, though, I would be remiss if... Oh, hang on. What's... Oh, okay, okay. I would be remiss if I didn't ask this, ED. What on earth am I watching, ED? For the final interview here, I know the chat would roast me if I didn't do this, so I've got to ask you, can you give me an uwu?
Ooh, okay. Here comes Sweaty Major. Woohoo!
No, give me an uwu. Give me an uwu. Give me the uwu.
Ooh, what do you mean woo? I mean,
Oh,
ooh,
no!
what do you mean?
Hang on.
What do you mean, woo?
Repeat after me. You ready? Repeat after me.
What? Okay. What do you mean?
No,
woo?
I'm not going to do it again. I'm not doing it again. I've already done it once. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. ED, we love you, mate. We'll see you soon.
Okay, see you guys. Bye-bye. Love you.
Oh, no. Have
You
I
really
just been...
bottled it there, mate.
Did I just
You
get
really
baited
bottled it.
into that?
I don't know whether he was trolling you or whether maybe he didn't understand what you were just
He
saying.
definitely... I feel like he definitely had no clue what I was saying there.
He sent me I just DM'd him an uwu and he sent an uwu back.
Okay, so he gets it. He gets it. I wanted
just trolling
the
you.
high pitch. I wanted the high pitch uwu. But Mandy, I mean that obviously take away all the piss taking from that interview there. Very interesting that he's obviously got military service coming up, and Harambe's performance here might actually be an indication as to what happens at the major.
Yeah, it's actually a really important story for the Direwolves, and in fact, like a lot of these Southeast Asian teams to go to the major, there is still the final boss, and that is the forbidden word that I'm not going to say because otherwise I'm going to curse somebody. And so they've still got a ways to go. I just hope that things work out for them. And yeah, for ED, I would love to see him at the major. He's such an animated character, and you know what? The world deserves that, The Rainbow Six world needs that.
It certainly does. And what we need to do is look at the recaps from today's matches, have a look back at how they all panned out. It started off in the best way it possibly could, Dev. 7-5 for Elevate, left the door slightly ajar for Fury. And boy, what did they do? They kicked the damn door down. Fury are off to the major.
Yeah, amazing. Really, what an amazing result. We really couldn't have asked for a better set of matches today. There was a real chance that Gladiators would have just won that in a pretty simple fashion. That would have cut and dried the whole afternoon, the whole evening of games. But no, Elevate not only locked in their spot, they also, like you said, left the door open for Fury. And TYDE really kept us guessing as well. That came down to 15 rounds. It was an 8-7. There was a real chance that Gladiators were going to make it despite getting 0 points out of tonight. But Fury got it across the line at the end of it. Amazing stuff from them, and really exciting that Thailand, despite Elevate not making it to the major, will still get a representative in the form of Fury, who have never been to a major before. You got players like I9 who have really made a name for themselves, getting a chance to do it once again, so it's super exciting. And of course, Direwolves getting a bit of a chance to show off and a bit of a chance to have Harambe do a last victory lap as they secure first place. It's so great.
Well, having a look at all these games, they kind of led into what was our predictions. We thought they were going to be close games, and they certainly were. I think me and Guz might have gone for a little troll on the last two because, I mean, still a bit of O's copium in there. Technically, with TYDE, still O's players. We've got it. But I think that this actually paints it pretty well, Dev. Tonight, I'm not, you know what? I'm sick of hearing you, Dev. Mandy, it was a lot closer than it should have been. But unfortunately, you lose out to Zen. Of all people, you lose out to every O's caster. How does that feel?
I know. I'm feeling really down bad right now, I took the L to Xenox. Like, what can you do? It happens. But I'm actually really happy for how this night turned out. Elevate losing and Fury... Elevate taking the win and Fury going into this major. It really warms my heart, especially to see players like Hollis and Hajime make it through to these majors. These guys have been, on the grind for years in SEA. And so... to finally see them step out of that ranked stack, play on a team, and go to the major is like, wow, that's crazy. Those are names that we've seen in the lobby for so long.
It is. It's kind of crazy to think that it's all led to this. It's time to have a look at how the final stage of 2022 has panned out. If you had told me at the start of the stage, Dev, that Elevate and Knights were going to be nowhere near the major, I would have told you you're barking mad.
Yeah, pretty unreal. We definitely expected that Elevate was going to be the #1 team. We definitely... it was a bit of a toss-up between Knights and GG, because Knights had that big speakeasy pick-up, and it was only a hair's breadth that they missed the Berlin major to GG, so we really expected Elevate was a sure bet, and then it's probably GG or Knights. When Knights ended up bottling it, and Direwolves ended up pretty strong, we kind of thought, well, it's definitely going to be Elevate and then either GG or Direwolves. We were really wrong about that. It's crazy to think that neither GG, nor Knights, nor Elevate will be going to the major. It's a return to the major for Direwolves, and it is the very first major for Fury. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Scenes.
You certainly didn't expect it to pan out this way, that's for sure.
Absolute scenes. Well, that's just APAC South, baby. There's twists and there's turns. Speaking of which, there still might be one more twist in this tale. We do have Direwolves sitting at a 23% chance to head to SI. This is massive. The fact that there is still a hope, there's still a chance. Look, whatever the chances are, they'd have to perform out of their damn mind at the major. The fact they've already secured that, Mandy, that makes us a little bit hopeful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this graphic is just a wonderful summary of what's going on tonight. Yes, Elevate, they do lock in SI. Unfortunately, Gaming Gladiators, they couldn't make it through. But the Direwolves do go to that major. It all kind of banks on how they perform. Maybe not having easy there is going to be tough. I just hope that they can get over that hurdle, come in with a huge performance for APAC South and try and lock in that 23%.
Do we think they can do it, Dev?
Yeah, mate, back him in there. Just, send it. Full send.
Just send it?
I don't know. I'm sure that Sprabuni and Raf have some exact percentages of like what they have to get to. Like, do they have to get top 4 to have like a reasonable chance of like getting above 70%? Probably, yeah. They probably have to make like top 4 or top 2 in order to make SI. But yeah, just full send it, mate. Get it up there. Get some Harambe dancers on the main playoff stage in Yoncha Pink. That's what I want to see.
Well, look, if he's not going as a player, he better be going as a damn coach, and he better be sitting behind him. Then again, yeah. Odin. Can we get 2? Can we get 2 sitting behind him? I want to see the Harambe dance, and I want to see Odin.
You can't have 2 sitting behind.
Nah, that's not good enough.
If you want to get technical, but you can have him there at the event, just not standing behind him.
He better be at the event. Well, that's pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. The fact that they're still in it with a chance gives us a little bit more excitement. Mandy, it is coming to the close of the show, the close of the stage, the close of the season. And as per usual, I'd like to give you your final thoughts.
Just want to say that really proud of the 2 teams that have made it through to the major. They absolutely deserve their spot there, and I can't wait to see their performance. It's just, especially for the Direwolves, making that resurgence. What an amazing story as well for Fury. Literally 0 points to now the heroes here coming from Thailand. I just cannot wait to see what goes forward and do us proud over in Sweden.
Dev?
Yeah, look, reflecting upon the year, I looked a little bit earlier and I saw that there was actually, 5 different APAC South teams that made it to majors this year, which is pretty phenomenal. So, massive credit to, Chiefs, Elevate, GG, Fury.
Who?
That's all of them, right? So, maybe it was just 4, I don't know, maybe. Oh, did I say Direwolves? I probably missed Direwolves, whatever.
Or gaming.
Tons of really good teams. It just goes to show how competitive the region is. It's been a pleasure to cast it, and also, especially when we close off with an interview like that from ED, it's nice to be reminded how wholesome our little region is, and, keep going.
It is. It is. We've just got to keep chipping away. The region is big, but it is beautiful. That is for sure. So, look, I'm gonna give it a really quick breakdown. I definitely have something I want to say here. I've written down some stuff because I know that there is a good chance that I might miss something.
Don't tear up, mate.
I'm not going to tear up. I'm not going to tear up. I just don't want to miss anything. I could tear up. It could happen. But I want to start by saying it has been a year for APAC. It's been a year of trials, of tribulations, a year full of journeys. I mean, it's been absolutely insane. From elation and excitement for Elevate to the yo-yo year that was Direwolves. Stage 1, Stage 3, flawless. How do you do it? Moving on, Gladiators who really have showcased what it means to be a diamond in the rough, and I'm sure that it has provoked a lot of inspiration around APAC, so it's incredible to see. I want to give massive credits to Fury that have had the zero to hero, rags to riches storyline that has just been absolutely unbelievable. They are our Cinderella story of APAC South. To TYDE, the team that almost were the super team, if you were. They were almost the spoilers at the end as well. Of course, one of the OS teams, the missed it by that much team, the Knights, every single time. We were so close. We had the coin flip that were wild card throughout the entire year. But really, for all of you, I just want to say, from the heartache to the uncontainable happiness we had throughout this stage, the performances were unbelievable. And it is the reason why APAC South have been the most entertaining league in the world to cover for this year. To the team behind the scenes that you don't see, Sky, who is an incredible observer on the sticks, I'm sure Mandy would agree with that one.
Absolutely.
Considering he took over from how dare he, right? To, of course, our incredible producer, Brendan Hill, who has just been an absolute wizard in the production room. He has continued to make us smile, to make us laugh throughout 2022. And to the rest of the team behind ESL, from the broadcast, of course, to the league operations, without you, this league does not run smoothly. Without you, the quality is nowhere near what it deserves, and you have given it everything it deserves for 2022. To my co-casters, my colleagues, people I consider my close friends, Dev, Mandy, Guz, Xenox, and of course, Mr. APAC himself, who I'm sure is in Paris right now learning French, Raven. Thank you for loaning us your voice, your excitement, your disappointment, and I'm going to say your loose talent throughout this year. You truly have made every Thursday night an absolute joy to come to work, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this and to be a part of what we have created for 2022. Lastly, to you, the viewers, the fans, the supporters, the people that have been here throughout the entire year, that have gone through the trials and tribulations with the teams, from the Oast Copium all the way down to the gut-wrenching rounds that we have seen, even on the final play day of Stage 3 to determine who would go to the major. We have seen it all here in APAC South. I speak for all of us when I say that this has been an absolute pleasure to deliver what has been such a joyous occasion, such a joyous league. APAC South League has been so much fun for 2022, and I'm sure it will continue to deliver. These teams have just built so much here. Best of luck to Direwolves, best of luck to Fury, who now go on to the major, and of course, to the teams that have their sights set on SI, we look forward to seeing you join Elevate, who are almost secure. They're almost secure. But for everyone at home, this will be the final time in 2022. This is the APAC South team signing off. Good night.
Unless he knows. He doesn't. Oh my goodness, Hoven does get the kill. Rix enters, he falls. Now Hoven in the 1 versus 2 has been good so far, but Onigiri with the DMR. That's... Oh, no.
And Onigiri on the DMR of the Aruni. Oh, it could backfire so badly, boy. It could be so great.
He saw 2 players.
I don't think they will. Maybe they will. He got to win it, and he does. Onigiri, of course.
Well, Elevate might be able to clean up.
Oh, the ping.
Rix, though. Oh, that's huge.
That's Onigiri gone. It's Mr. Punch in a 1 versus 2. Into red time we go. He gets the first. That's diffuser down. He can play right off of that. Told you, does not have the time. No time, no diffuser. And potentially, off the back of that round, no major.
But this is such a tough roam clear for Fury to do. The Monty is gone and followed up by someone behind him, but it's actually like close to find the entry pick off this round. Even Smoke is getting in. It takes for the double kill. Mentalist to pick another one back up, and suddenly the trades go back and forth, and somehow Fury end up behind. How did that happen?
BG Man and Dark, they are called upon. They must step up, but it's Nate once again. He's looking to take us to break point, and he does it. A huge round from the TYDE. As he rounds that corner, sprays through, can't land the shots he's needed against Dark. Both players low on ammo, but Dark locks it in. Is Mentalist able to trade? He goes back to that same position, but he gets caught out! Surely he can't find Mentalist here, surely not. He spots out the player, pistol down, but the trade is there!
Josh does find the entry though, so it's in favor of the Knights, but Jackie Wu for 3!
Woo!
Jackie Wu goes large.
They've got to stick the plant. Sage will go for it. Inside a kitchen, Stigs to watch. Nitrocell goes out. Oh, Harambe! Sheesh! Give us a dance, Harambe! I want to see it!
Neither will really want to recontest, but Pika wants to. That's Sage to find that kill. Surely Speak Easy
Harambe.
swings and finds
Oh my
Harambe.
God.
Speak Easy!
Speak easy. You want to play
The
the
timing!
game? Harambe
Oh!
does go down.
your time's up. A lot of tick-tock, tick-tock. Your time's up. I know I'm a lot, but you should've known not to cross the line. Now you sobered up, what the hell did you think that you'd find? The passenger seat on my heart has been reassigned, but I'd still buckle up if you don't like it rough. You can run, but there's nowhere to hide no more. You can cry, but they won't hear a sound. Reading you like the Bible, there's no way out. Light if I get burned, your time's up. A lot of tick-tock, tick-tock. A lot of tick-tock, your time's up. A lot of tick-tock, tick-tock. Your time's up. Your time's up.
It's what you're seeking, and it's worth repeating. Don't give up your dreaming, this is all you need. And feel the love that's beating, and the light comes streaming from the world that's spinning just the way you need. Let's take it back to the start. Let's start it over and over and over. We're getting closer and closer as long as we have everything we need. Let's start it over and over and over again. If it's what you're seeking and it's worth repeating, don't give up your dreaming. This is all you need. And feel the love that's beating, and the light comes streaming from the world that's spinning just the way you need. Let's take it back to the start. Let's start it over and over and over. We're getting closer and closer as long as we have everything we need. Let's start it over and over and over again. Let's start it over and over and over. We're getting closer and closer as long as we have everything we need. Let's start it over and over again. Yeah, I want to